Welcome to our budget deliberations. In the morning part, we had discussed about our expectations, about the country's budget, about the country's economy. We are in the expectations area. Now budget has been placed before the parliament. We have come to know the major budget provisions of the country for the year 23-24 to be started from 1st April 23. There are many areas which we need to discuss in the infrastructural development areas, in the macroeconomic development, in the micro development, and also on certain fiscal areas, that is taxations. After all, budget is a very, very important area or important document through which we come to know about the country's economy, about the country's proposed expectations in terms of growth, expenditure, outlays, and importance on various areas. All these things we come to know from the budget. So it is a very, very important event for all of us on 1st February every year. Friends, I have with me today is a very distinct personality in the areas of management consultancy. He is Mr. Subro Sengupta. He is from IIT Kharagpur and IIM Calcutta and has got several years corporate experience and working knowledge in major MNCs of the country. Now I will request Subro to basically discuss the infrastructural, agricultural, sectoral areas which have been dealt with in this current year's budget. And then I will discuss about the tax related matter, and overall sum up will be made accordingly. So I will request Subro to please highlight those important areas which are very, very important for the country, for the overall growth of the country, and not for any specific area like taxation. Over to Subro.
Thanks Timida for your kind words. This year's budget has been focused in growth, overall growth, emphasis on employment, environment and agriculture and infrastructure also. The main features, macroeconomic features, if I can just point them out, are the credits earmarked for agricultural growth. Agricultural sector has been increased to 20 lakh crores.
It's a very high amount.
It's a significant amount. GDP for the coming year is identified to be 302 lakh crores, which is 6.5% of the current year's GDP. There's been a huge emphasis on creating new jobs. In renewable sector, 4 lakh megawatts of renewable energy production has been identified by the year 2025.
In the solar segment.
Solar renewable energy segment.
Yes, yes.
And 5 lakh metric ton of hydrogen production, green hydrogen production.
Million metric ton.
In the year 2030, by the year 2030 rather. Free food to priority households, that is Antardan Yojana, for more than a year. Aspirational blocks, that is blocks identified as backward and needs special emphasis to improve, has been increased to 500 blocks. They span around 112 districts in the country.
Correct.
157 new nursing colleges has been designated to be opened. The Prime Minister Abbas Yojana outlines a cash flow of 79,000 crores. Infrastructural growth of 10 lakh crores and effective investment of 13.7 lakh crores, which is nearly 3.5% of our GDP, has been earmarked. The railways, if we consider that itself being another 4 lakh crores, is also being identified. India is earmarked to be the global hub for millet production, and a good amount of the production is also designed for internal consumption and internal use. 75,000 crores has been set for development of the transportation infrastructure, that is mainly road works. It has also
Inland waters also, linking various rivers with another river. I think 220 rivers have been identified, and through inland water is gaining importance in this particular budget.
and that's a major development.
That is a major development because it is environment friendly and it is cost friendly and also it is logistical friendly. So you all know that inland water system has been already introduced in the eastern side from Kolkata to northeast through Bangladesh port. That is probably this is the first project in this particular segment.
Thank you. And yes, India is a network of rivers, and if we can tap the inland water resources for transportation properly, it will definitely help reduce the bigger objective of green energy. The KYC process used for various purposes, including banks, is further pledged to be streamlined. For MSME development, the liquidated damages, LD damages that some contractor may incur is decided to be refunded.
Due to corona impact, for their delay in completion of the project, some of the MSMEs had to forego some part of their sales consideration because of LD deductions. In this particular budget, we find that there is a proposal to refund that LD deductions.
Excellent. Further, for streamlining of legal purposes, creation of e-courts, 7,000 crores has been outlaid for the purpose. Green hydrogen I already talked of, but another 7,600 crores has been earmarked for production of the green hydrogen, which is 5 lakh metric ton by 2030.
Here I would like to inform you that the green hydrogen project is a very ambitious project, Subhro. It is 5 lakh million ton project by 2030, and this project will be done both in the private segment and public segment. In the public segment, so far I know, NTPC, GAIL India, Indian Oil Corporations have already started. And in the private segment, two names are very, very important who are joining hands, that is Reliance Industries Limited and Adani Green Project. These are the two major. Apart from that, there are several other private companies are also be in this particular project. The objective is that country, with the help of 4 lakh megawatt renewable energy, as Subhro said, from solar power and around 5 lakh million metric ton MMT by 2030 from these companies will help the country to be independent to a great extent from fossil power.
From fossil fuel, right?
And that is the major intention of the government, that let us be net zero by 2070. And this is the part and parcel of that net zero project.
Excellent. However, caution there has been that hydrogen production using electricity has very much been possible, and it has been done. Using green energy is where we need also to go to a technological breakthrough, and it's very heartening to see that government is taking initiatives. So definitely in research work also there will be initiative and incentives to the industries.
And I understand that India will be the green hydrogen hub of the whole world. That is also, I don't want to quote the name of the great industrialist who said that green hydrogen will be sold like the IT related jobs, communications related fees are paid at the time of introduction of your geo.
In our college times, our one professor used to say that you will see one day energy will be traded like currency. Instead of rupees, you will trade an energy.
That
and
is
that's exactly probably
that
what
is a
you are
very
saying.
good point to know.
Yeah. Another breakthrough in the education sector is identification of 30 skill development institute, and
It will be under one IIT, that has also been mentioned. Which IIT they have not said,
Yeah.
but it will be under one IIT who will monitor the skill development areas.
and that would be an excellent initiative if such highly placed, matured, and intellectual institutes gets the opportunity to develop the country in some way. We feel that there would be excellent growth going forward. And one more macro point on the budget is one district, one product scheme. So that has been more or less on the
Yeah, it is on the talk for a long period. It will not only consider the grain, it will also consider the handicrafts. Like you say, baluchuri. Baluchuri is a green thing. Similarly, I just want to tell you, in a little lighter sense, yesterday I was in Puri and I found some gaja is being sold. So, and you will not find that type of mithai in any part of the country. So, with GI and agricultural growth, I think one district like Bardhaman could be district for rice, Birbhum could be district for potatoes, like that. So, this is the objective of the country, that one district and one product.
and it's like harnessing the inherent qualities of a place.
Correct.
And that's very heartening to see the government coming up.
Yes.
Expenditure of 45 lakh crores in 23-24 is identified. Receipts of 27.2 lakhs, including the 23.3 lakh crore from tax revenues, is expected, and that will leave us with a fiscal deficit of nearly
17.8 lakh crores.
17 lakh crores. So
18 lakh crores. Means what I wanted to say, Subhro, that the country's total expenditure after sharing the revenue with the state is estimated to 45 lakh crores. I once again repeat, after sharing the revenue with the states, because central has to share its revenue of around 41% with the states. After sharing that, country's total expenditure is 45 lakh crores, and country's income including tax income, as Subhro rightly said, it is around 27.2 lakh crores. So 45 minus 27.2 comes to around 17.8 lakh crores, and that is the fiscal deficit of the country for the year 23-24.
It has been 6.4% in 2023, and
Yes.
this coming year it's pledged to be taken down to 5.9%.
5.9%, exactly. And the government has confirmed that they will reduce it to 4.5% by 25-26.
Right.
So that is a very good this thing, because friends, what I wanted to tell you, that fiscal deficit is a very important area to consider, because most of the people are interested about tax rate, what deductions, what tax rate is, but you have to understand about the country. Country's main issue is the GDP, which is, as Subhro has already said, 302 lakh crores, which is approximately $3.6 trillion, very clear. And you must know what is country's income and country's total expenditure. Expenditure means capital expenditure also. As he has rightly said, that country's total expenditure, that is revenue and capital, is estimated to 45 lakh crores. Now what is the income? Income is around 27.2 lakh crores, including tax revenue. Mind that country's income comes from major two sources. One is tax revenue, another is a non-tax revenue. What is non-tax revenue? Dividend from public sector undertaking, banks, Reserve Bank of India, etc., etc. So if you take this is receipt and 45 lakh is the payment, net deficit is 17.8 lakh crores, and that is called fiscal deficit. And this fiscal deficit is always calculated on what? It is always calculated on GDP and not on the total expenditure. So as Subhro has already said, that this percentage is coming to around 5.9%, 9% this 23-24. What it was in the current year 22-23? It was 6.4%. So from 6.4% to 5.9%. Very important. Because ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए जे आपका इनकम खर्चा आमदनी अटानी और खर्चा रुपया,
Yes, that's very
ये होना
nicely
नहीं
said.
चाहिए. ये गवर्नमेंट को भी थोड़ा देखना है कि हमारा इनकम एक्सपेंडिचर को थोड़ा बैलेंस करना चाहिए. तो बैलेंस तो होता नहीं है, आपका लोन लेना ही होगा, बिकॉज योर कंट्री हैज ऑलरेडी ईयरमार्क 14 lakh crores on account of investments in infra. That is also included in your fiscal deficit. So out of 17.8 lakh crores, if you have not made any infrastructural development, probably your deficit would have been around 3 to 4 lakh crores. But that is not fair. So therefore, even at the cost of the fiscal deficit, government decided to go for infrastructural development, and infra means both road, airports, seaports, water link, it's everything. And another is the railways. You know, all these Vande Bharats and others, huge amount of capital outlay has been made by the central government. So with this 5.9% growth, 9% deficit is not that so high, and not to end when the government has already decided to reduce it to 4.5% of the GDP by 25-26. If you ask me what is the fair rate of the fiscal deficit, I will say 2 to 3%.
2 to 3% ideally.
That is ideally.
Ideally.
But there should be some deficit. Zero deficit is also not good, because zero deficit means the country has no development activities. They have no plan for development activities. So therefore, these things.
Sumit, I think we go over to the budget. There are a lot of other details on the budget
Yes.
to be covered. So the government expects to borrow 111.8 lakh crores from bonds, sale of bonds and small savings schemes. The states by themselves are allowed fiscal deficit up to 3.5%
of their GDP.
of their GDP. Uh, for individuals, saving schemes for seniors is rupees 15 to 30 lakh crores. That is 8% is the year
It is a huge benefit for the middle.
in interest rate, right?
Yeah, yes, because at present you are entitled to deposit only 15 lakhs. So if your husband and wife, you could deposit 30 lakhs. Now you can deposit up 60 lakhs, and 60 lakhs 8%. That means 4,80,000 interest in a year is identified. You can do it, and post office is the safest investment in the country. That is a great benefit.
Thank you. MIS of 4.5 lakhs to 9 lakhs, and in case of joint holders, it is to 15 lakh crores from
15 lakhs.
9 lakh crores.
Yes.
So, exemption allowed when it is paid for MSME is for taxes or
Yes, this is a big envy. Many big companies, they do not pay MSME within 45 days. But they provide it in their books as expenses
Okay.
in respect of their supplies.
Yes.
So as a result, what happens? The companies get the benefit, but the MSME has to suffer. But a new provision has come that until unless you make payment to MSME, you will not be allowed to consider that expenditure as an expenditure and set up against your income.
Yeah.
It is like a 43A section in income tax that unless and until you make the legal payments, statutory payments, you will not be allowed to get deductions from your income. The same thing, MSME has been included in that particular league. So it's a good benefit for the
two
MSME.
benefits I see
Two
from
benefits.
MSME, that is that LD clause waiver.
Yes,
Not waiver, it's like paying back the LD clause during the
yes,
COVID
during
period,
COVID period.
and making a compulsory payment to MSMEs for.
Yes, yes.
So that's a very nice.
In fact, for MSME development also, they have allotted, so far I know, around 7,500 crores for MSME development. So for MSME, there are 2-3 big announcements.
Okay. So let's go over to personal income tax now, income tax sector.
You see, regarding personal income tax segment, I will just simply say that there are two schemes. One is the old scheme, another is a new scheme. What is the new scheme? In a new scheme, tax rate is very low, but no exemption is allowed. So now it has been further redefined, and it has been made investor friendly, or you can say individual friendly taxations. Previously up to 2.5 lakhs was exempted. Now exemption limit has been increased to 3 lakh rupees per annum. So up to 3 lakhs no tax, 3 lakh to 6 lakhs 5%, 6 lakhs to 9 lakh 10%, 9 lakhs to 12 lakhs 15%, 12 lakhs to 15 lakh 20%, 15 lakhs and above 30%. So rate of tax has been more slabs has been introduced and exemption. Now if you have a income of around 9 lakh rupees, we find that your income tax payment is only 45,000. So around, say, you can say 4,000 or 5,000 rupees per month will be, if you have an income up to 9 lakhs rupees. So that way individual taxation rate has been significantly streamlined. These are major
Leave encashment
and
is
another
another.
big area is the leave encashment.
Right. So 25 lakhs, it has been increased, the LTC concession.
Yes.
In
In other words, the entire leave encashment is exempted, because 25 lakhs leave encashment is normally enjoyed by very high rank people.
excellent. Yeah,
This is what I personally feel. When I retired, my leave encashment was around 6.8 or 7 lakh rupees. But although I was reasonably in a very senior position, But now it has been exempted up to 25 lakh.
And the increase in surcharge has also been
Being streamlined.
streamlined. So it has come down from 37 to 25% in the
Absolutely.
new tax regime.
That is a good thing.
So the maximum tax rebate, tax slab, Timidda, then effectively comes down to 39%.
Yes, highest rate.
That is the highest slab.
Those who are paying the highest rate, that could be including surcharge, it will be around 39%, which was around very high rate. It was 42%. So to a great extent it has improved. So Subro, considering all these facts into account, if I have to say how much mark will you give to this budget out of 10? And why?
I see the budget very proactive, growth oriented, environment friendly, job oriented, and it has a completely different outlook for future of the country. And I would definitely try to rate it at 7 or 8 high
Okay.
ratings in the scale. Yeah.
Now another question I have. Today India is the fifth largest economy, and people expect by 2030 our position will be at least third position. That means US, China, and then India. That means from fifth to third. Do you think this sort of budget will help the country to grow and to reach to that particular level?
The outlook, that positiveness which is laid out on the budget, that it's not only tax cut for vote bank, it's also overall growth, millet production, green hydrogen production. These are the ones which we see propels the entire nation forward together. And to answer your question directly, yes, the overall sense from the budget definitely looks like we are moving ahead, the country is moving ahead. Frankly speaking, which position, fifth or third, is some speculation, but it looks like a very well thought of proposal.
Thank you, friends, and thank you, Subro. When world is expecting a growth in 22-23 between 1 to 2%, India's growth is estimated to be around 6.5% as per yesterday's economic survey. And same growth rate by and large is expected to in 23-24 also. So we can conclude by saying it is a growth oriented budget. It has made a good balance between have and have nots. This is also equivalent. And most important thing is that budget is showing a very distinct possibility to come out from the fossil fuel and from the clutches of few oil producing countries who are basically destroying the whole oil market with the help of biggest cartel, that is OPEC. Probably in 2030, our dependence on the fossil fuel, not only for India and other countries, will be reduced to a great extent, and that way India will be the torch bearer in this particular area. Thank you very much for your patient handling, and please do not forget to subscribe our YouTube channel, that is TCN Global Official, and also please convey and let us know your reviews, your comment about our deliberations, and if you feel that we can add further, please do let us know. Please note that I'll be airing my views today in All India Radio, and it will be aired around 9:30 p.m. today. Again, there will be a repeat broadcasting, and also Doordarshan DD1 at 7:30. It will be a live program. It will be repeated at 11 o'clock in the night, and again tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the morning. So you can review our further detailed clarifications and analysis on this budget. Thank you very much for your patient hearing, and thank you, Subro, for sharing your views on this particular very relevant document of the country. Thank you, man.
Thank you, everyone.
Jai Hind.